Hello, everyone. In this episode, we are continuing our conversation with Melina. This is the second part. If you haven't listened to the first one, I recommend you go back and listen to this first. And I hope you enjoy this one. You could understand what you should eat and how much you should be eating it, and then maybe create a specific meal plan for yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is this possible now?
In what way?
Like, is it possible to be able to know what foods I should be eating and what foods I shouldn't, and to have like
Mm-hmm.
my own diet, I would
Yeah.
say, based on that.
Yes. So if you know what your body needs or what it might be deficient on, we have to focus on that. If you have more tendency, you have like risk factors to develop diabetes or insulin resistance, it's very important to eat more whole grains and not spike the blood sugar as much, eat more low glycemic index food, get your fiber intake, and yeah, make sure that you don't get deficiencies of any vitamins or minerals if you know you are more likely to have that deficiency. Um, yeah.
And what about the people who always, like, for example, feel like they have trouble in their stomach, like they have gases, they are constipated, they have they're what we usually call the irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in this word.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that everyone has a problem, but they don't know how to deal with it, and we just call it irritable bowel syndrome.
Yeah.
But would this would these people have solutions now?
Mm-hmm. I would say first of all, you need to figure out and pinpoint which part of your lifestyle causes this kind of problem. So if you have gases, does it come from a certain meal, a certain ingredient? Does it come from sometimes wearing pants that are too tight and it makes you like bloat? You know, that also happens. Or does it happen in certain weeks of the month? Does it happen when you're stressed? So I feel like it's important for people to realize where does the problem come from, you know? And that is the first thing. And then the second is to assess from there. Okay, we know that maybe this food contains onion, and the onion, you didn't realize it before, but now you know that, oh, when I eat onion, I don't feel very good. So let's try to eliminate that and slowly introducing it. Like, well, after you eliminate it, do you feel better? And then when you feel better, can we slowly introduce it? Because I feel like when it comes to the intolerance, it's not good to eliminate it forever.
Yeah.
It's not allergies, so it's not technically harmful for the body. It just causes a lot of discomfort. So we can slowly try to introduce it in a different way, maybe fermenting it, maybe cooking it longer, cutting it to smaller pieces, putting less of it, and see from there. Yeah, it's always about listening to your body and always doing the adjustment and
Yeah, there is a trick I just learned that, like, when you're cooking garlic, you should cook with it ginger so that it balances it out and you get less gases.
oh,
Yeah,
never heard of it. But it
yeah,
makes sense. I mean, in India, people always make like a ginger duck.
yeah.
So sometimes like the ancestors knows it better.
Yeah, right, yeah, right. Do you have any other tricks like that?
What? I don't know. On the top of my head, let me see. I don't anything in general, like anything. Okay. For us, like in Indonesia, we always before cooking our tofu or our tempeh, we always soak it with some salt and coriander powder because it gets rid of that tofu taste, tempeh taste that people don't like. So maybe for me it's super normal, but maybe for someone else it's not. Maybe you can try that. But yeah, we eat tofu and tempeh plain and we love it. We usually dip it with some like chili paste, like normal, like a good Indonesian, like with the spicy food. But yeah, we don't have a problem with the tofu tasting bad. So maybe a little bit of coriander and salt does the trick.
Wow. Okay, I'll try that. But there is a question. Like we all know that there is we are an ecosystem more or less as people. We have bacteria living on our skin, bacteria living inside us, and this bacteria interacts with the outer world by touching stuff, by breathing, by eating things. So, what do you think when it comes to the microbiome living inside us, this world of microorganisms, and how they affect the way we think, the way we live? What do you think on that?
So, the gut health is a very big and interconnecting topic that people always think it's only about the small and large intestine one. It's not. It's like connecting a lot of parts of your body. Because people call it like the gut intuition. Because it's like, okay, that means that your gut is telling your brain like what you think. So that's why they're like saying that now the gut is the second brain. I mean, even just by that phrase alone, it kind of explains a deeper
And
meaning.
it's been proven over and over that your gut affects your brain. Like, and I think everyone knows that in a way or another. Like, even if they don't know anything about science or like, anything, they know that when they're gonna eat dinner tonight, they're gonna be lazy after it. And uh, that's how something you ate, your gut affected your brain, your attention, it's for me it's crazy. And but let's get deeper into that. And right now, what do we know about the microbiome inside us that could change the way we live?
So the microbiome is basically the combination of all the bacteria you have, the good ones, the bad ones. We cannot only have good bacteria, we also have the bad ones, but obviously we need more good bacteria than the bad ones. And we also need a variety of the good bacteria. So it's kind of like the people in the city. You cannot have just one kind of people. You need different people so that they interact. Like someone needs to be the cook, someone needs to be the one that works in the office, some people need to be the doctors, and the construction worker, everything to make it a functioning society. So it's kind of like how we can think of the microbiome.
It's like a society in there.
Yeah. So it's very important now having the variety of the microbiome. It's also when we're talking about gut health, it is different interactive factors. So it's also your gut motility. So how often, how easy it is for you to go to the bathroom and well, if you talk about gut, you cannot avoid talking about poop. Like I'm sorry, but like it is what it is. And then your intestinal barrier. So people with celiac disease would suffer from like damaged intestinal lining because of the celiac disease. Like it causes the bacteria to attack the barriers. So it's about having good and a good surface area for the absorption of the minerals that passes through your digestive system and also the immunity. Because the bacteria, again, it also helps fight other bacteria. So it's very important to have strong bacteria that could protect you from.
And how to have strong bacteria?
Okay, so we've always heard about the pre and probiotics. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put you on the spotlight, and I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna ask you, what is the difference? Do you know the difference between a pre and a probiotic?
Yeah, I think I know. Okay, the prebiotic is something that you eat that enriches the bacteria you have in your gut, while the probiotics are the ones already to like ready-made bacteria that you actually eat them,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I would say it's. I'll try to explain it better for the listeners, but basically, prebiotics is feeding the bacteria
Yeah.
that you have in the gut. So that would be food that has a lot of fiber in it. So whole grains, vegetables, fruit. What else? We have, basically a fiber containing food. And then we have the probiotic, which is the live microorganism, and it comes from fermented food mostly. So your yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, fermented vegetable, everything in between, that is where the probiotic is. So this is how you maintain good gut health. And also doing exercise is very important because that way you move things along, very important. So yeah, that would be like the combination on how you maintain the famous gut health.
Yeah. Basically, like how to eat better, how to live better, how to do everything. Like, so very nice. And so, yeah, but let me ask you something. Would you say that people who are more kind of courageous with what they eat, who, especially who grew up in places where like was not so hygienic, or in countries where you eat on the street, or do these people have more resilient microbiome or a different microbiome, a special one?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it's a good thing because maybe there's like more parasites or something inside of it. But yeah, definitely. I mean, you have lived abroad. I'm pretty sure when you go back to Egypt, like it's not a very good like first week. I would say I always struggle like the first week I'm back home,
Yeah.
especially when, we're a long time without going home and we want to eat all the our favorite restaurants, all the typical food that we miss so much. And I cannot handle it anymore. I have to space it out.
What do you know about Indonesian cuisine that Indonesians don't know?
In what way? Like,
As a nutritionist, like most people don't know that, or
I don't know. I mean, well, let's just assume that they don't know. But tempe
Mhm.
is our like staple food. I can get so much for so cheap because it's just like
What's temper?
tempeh is fermented soy.
Uh-huh.
So if you picture tofu, it's blended, so it's like a smooth kind of mixture. No, it's not a mixture. It's like a solid, but it's blended soybean. Meanwhile, tempeh is fermented whole.
Mhm.
So you have the beans, and then after it's fermented, there will be like white stuff that connects it, and it becomes solid.
Yeah.
And that thing is repeatedly studied and talked about in Western medicine, in Western kind of society. And it's something that for us, it's so normal. Like we don't see it as something that's healthy or has all these amazing benefits when it's so crazy, all the scientific study that comes out about how good tempeh is.
I think it's just innate. Like there's something I would I say I really hate that Western societies came to newer like countries like Latin America or like Asia, and they went to these countries, and they said, "We know this better. You're doing it wrong. We know the right way." And now it's the reverse. Like, you realize that these people were so intelligent and they were creating very nutritious food, and you just didn't know it.
Yeah.
You were ignorant. Now you're discovering it. And like, you see that Indians, for example, they had their ways of cooking healthy food. Mexicans had their ways of like, and you're trying to explain their genius right now, but they've always knew it, and
Yeah.
it's sort of it's an evolution. Like, you have to give respect to the thousands of years that came before us, that tried with food a lot and realized what works and what not.
Yeah.
It's innate. People know how to eat well, just don't. And because these people didn't have bad interests, like, these people weren't like today. They would have interest if you eat junk food. They would have interest if you call the delivery. If you, these people, there weren't like these things involved. And these things control the way we eat. Like, we have bad habits. Like, I have a bad habit of eating fast food twice a week. But what made me do this? I know that's wrong, but I still do it. Because the society has been pushing this on. Like,
Yeah. It's very hard to kind of uncolonize the kitchen. I on reflect ways that you heard it. Yeah. I feel like also the problem with Indonesian, what I realized is that it becomes very like the way that we were eating, I think it was fine. And then suddenly they introduced like the whole Western adaptation or everything, like fast food chains started coming. And what I find really weird is that, for example, in all of the Indonesian cuisine that I know, none of them would contain dairy. Almost nothing. So suddenly now they put cheese on everything. Like, why? Like, why do you have to do that?
oh my God, yeah, that cheese wave came to Egypt. You would, like, 5 years ago, I think you started seeing it. You'd find a lot of restaurants. You go, they serve whatever food they serve, but they give you a cup full of melting cheese. So you go, they serve fried chicken and a cup of melting cheese, and you put cheese on everything. But it doesn't, nothing tastes good. Like, it's just covered in a lot of cheese that gives it a taste, but actually the chicken tastes so bad.
Yeah.
But I hate that.
So it kind of like, since when did we change all these things, And so yeah, I think your body is not evolved to handle so much dairy. Like, imagine. And talking about that, like, I feel like we do not have that much problems with osteoporosis. And always the solution for osteoporosis is to drink like milk or have your calcium from dairy. Meanwhile, like, I don't drink milk at all.
Yeah.
And I really don't like. And we're mostly lactose intolerant because we just never drink milk in our previous, like, our ancestor and everyone, like, they never
That they got their source of vitamin D somewhere.
well, they
Like, because I would believe there is more sun in Indonesia than here.
there's maybe the sun
So you got your share of vitamin D, but when you come here,
yeah
you like less sun exposure,
Mhm.
maybe, but here they got the vitamin D from the milk.
Yeah, but also a lot of studies show that isoflavones that comes from soy also helps with osteoporosis. So eating the tempeh, eating the tofu, eating a lot of things that we eat are from soybean, and it really helps because the influence of osteoporosis is very low in just the Asian countries. So yeah, it's very interesting, right?
Yeah, I think that's like every cuisine says it's or answers the same questions in its own way. Like, every culture grew up to understand how to nurture themselves.
Yeah.
So just let them be and learn from them, right? In a way or another. Like, I want to ask you about something. So, these technologies you're talking about, like precision medicine and knowing doing your epigenetic analysis to know how you should eat, is this available right now? Can someone buy solutions like these right now, start using them?
Yeah, there's lots of companies that provides the test. Um, well, depending on where they're listening from, because I don't know if they're all based in Spain or Europe or
In Spain, for example.
um. Well, for now, where I'm working, like they haven't like well, I never can say this, but they're not like selling at the moment, like not yet.
Not commercialized.
Not commercialized yet. But I would say the most important thing when doing this test is having the solutions. Well, how do you say it? Like, no, when you're doing this test, there is afterwards someone that will guide you
Yeah.
through your result. When you do the test.
Makes sense. So you always do these tests coupled with the nutrition.
Yes. It's like basically if you do a blood test, like do you have a doctor that's going to explain to you yourself, and then afterwards have the intervention made by the doctors that tell you the results. You cannot just, okay, here's a book of everything that is wrong with your body. And then, okay, you go find the solution yourself. That's a bad solution. If you find a company that only sells the test without any solution, then run. Go the other way. Like, don't look, because that's not a good way to get this information. Because what are you going to do now with all these things that you just learn about your body? So it's very important to find
A translator.
yeah, basically.
I'm pretty. Basically, it probably shouldn't be like AI. Like, please get the test, find a human translator, um, at least to validate whatever you'll get out of AI. Because yeah, we trust AI with a lot of things, but maybe when it comes to health, I wouldn't leave it on its own for now. Always have a human in the loop, like we say. And yeah, no. Uh, you were coming, you were telling me that you were at Women Health Conference, something.
A women's health retreat.
Retreat.
Yeah.
Wow, where?
In Morocco.
And who organized it? Like, what?
I am a friend of mine, so we met at a restaurant in a restaurant event basically, and she hosts retreat, and she invited me to join the latest one, which it is a yoga help retreat where in the morning we do yoga, and then in the afternoon or in the evenings we do some sort of workshop, and then throughout the day we just enjoy.
How many people were you?
I think we were around 8 to 10.
8 to.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Mm-hmm. So there I thought two workshops, one about gut health and then another one about social media misinformation.
Social media. Tell us about that. I want to know that.
So yeah, that's a bit about the gut health I told you about earlier. But yeah, the social media misinformation is just that I really hate it. I really, really, it's like a pet peeve. Like I really hate when people do not have the qualification and they're talking about nutrition.
Yeah.
Well, same. It's like you don't want some
Yeah.
random guy talking about medicine. It's the same. I feel like a lot of people are not they're just straight up not qualified to give this kind of advice to people because the things that you would
TikTok,
hear,
man. TikTok. Yeah.
the things that I'm pretty sure now you as a doctor would get it all the time. Your friends would talk to you and come up with the craziest thing like, "Have you heard this?" And you'd be like, "What?"
So what to look for the person you're gonna follow on TikTok? How to validate that these people are legit?
First of all, like they say that they're certified. What kind of certification also that they do? Because, for example, you cannot call yourself a dietitian without doing university degree, the clinical practice hours that is required in every country. You need to be registered to the country or the region's entity to be a registered dietitian. Meanwhile, a nutritionist is unregulated. You can be you can just take a course for a couple of weeks, get a certificate, and then call yourself a certified nutritionist. So yeah, in Spain, for our profession, we call ourselves dietista nutricionista, and in more English-speaking countries, we call ourselves registered dietitian. So it's not the same like a dietitian and nutritionist generally.
Nice. And women health. That's always a very interesting topic for me because now in social media everywhere you find people talking about how you should eat different on every period of your cycle. Would you tell us about that? Like, I trust your knowledge, so tell me how that works. Or
It's not very scientifically backed, the whole cycle thinking thing, which is also, I think, a big emphasis of how there's not a lot of funding for women's health research.
yeah,
And I would say try it out. If it works with the cycle thinking, well, I think you should maintain it. But if it's not, then
we're not sure it's not placebo, but
exactly.
whatever works, right?
It depends. Like, for example, a lot of the advice is changing, for example, your exercise to kind of suit your flow. Okay. But for me, it doesn't work because, like we said before, I do fencing. I cannot fence less in a certain week of the month. Like, I have to go like 3 to 4 times a week and keep on doing the same workout. It doesn't work when you do sports in general. So it's very contradicting in that way.
Yeah, it depends. Like it's one of the things that generalizations, I would say, usually do not work.
Yeah.
And there is generalizations, and there are things that are common, but a lot of things don't work for everyone, and a lot of times you would need to see what's working for you and what's not. That would be my advice. Like, take everything you consume with a grain of salt and check what's behind it. If it works for you, then it's good. You will feel it. Your body will feel better if it works for you. If not, then it might not be for you. We're still, I would say, clueless about a lot of things. Like, science is still trying a lot of things out. People need to understand that, like, you should trust your doctors, trust your healers, but there are things in science that are not certain yet, and there are things that are not yet explored, and you have to bear with us. But I think things are moving right now, right? Like,
it's moving fast. Like the new,
like in the next few years, we would start be living a lot differently than the past, right?
yeah. I would hope so.
I hope I hope a war does not happen and stops everything. But let's do something. I ask you to give a one sentence advice to every one of the people I would mention.
Okay.
It's someone like me. He's in his late 20s, living alone. They have to cook every day. How do you advise them to eat better?
So if you're living alone, find good recipes that you can rely on. I also always have like using the freezer to freeze lots of plant-based proteins.
I asked today. I cooked 5 portions of meat and broth, and I put them in the freezer.
Yep, lots of that. I always make a big pot of legumes in the weekend, and then I freeze it, and then I make like single serving portions to freeze, because then I don't have to do for like a big portion at once. And start building the good habits and prioritize that, and having a good community to always make sure that you do this good habit. So yeah, that's like my more than one sentence.
Okay. How about the family of five? What would you say to the parents who would like
Okay.
their kids to eat better?
So make food fun, educate your kids about where food comes from, take them to the kitchen, make them try the food. I feel like it makes them
Wow.
understand more about why the food tastes like this, involve them in the kitchen, and introduce the new food slowly instead of always trying something different, slowly introduce to already foods that they like. So if you're going to introduce a new vegetable, try to do it maybe in a pasta that they like and put a little bit. And then if they don't like, okay, try again next week, a little bit at a time, and not give this much fear of this food. You know, usually kids really don't like trying new things. And yeah, I feel like forming the uh, forming habits of eating well and having a good habit in general for kids is very important because it carries throughout their whole life.
Yeah.
So it's very important to really make an emphasis of that. And then, so yeah, that's the one for kids. And for adults, I feel like for the mothers and the fathers, the most important thing is to get regular checkups. I know I am speaking this like based on my experience when my dad, they're terrified of doctors. My dad would never want to get a checkup, and we have to force him, like, come on, just go get a checkup. You don't know what is wrong. I mean, like, they're scared because they probably know something is wrong. So even more important
Yeah.
for them to go and get checked for whatever it is that they might have, regular blood checks and going to the cardiologist, make sure that everything is good, you know? So for me, that's the advice for the parents.
Mm. So, how about the people in their 60s, 70s? You know, like these people know how to cook well,
Yeah.
know how to eat well,
Mm-hmm.
but it's being harder for them.
Yeah. So it's important for them to prioritize protein because maybe they have a harder time to chew. They are more tired. They feel fuller faster. Sorry. So it's important for them to get the protein in. And then also do some strength training and making their environment fall proof because a lot of problems would start when they would have a fall, and then that's where their health quickly declines. So make sure, for example, they would tend to wake up more in the middle of the night to go to the toilet. To make sure that there's like a well lit path to the bathroom, make sure there's nothing in the way. That's very important, for example. And then yeah, having always a connection and a purpose in their day-to-day life. They're usually already retired by that age, but it's still like going out there, meeting their friends or meeting, I don't know, maybe younger people. There's some communities that they can join that will make them feel like they still have a purpose, which makes us very important. So yeah, maybe a reminder to call your grandparents after listening to this because I haven't called mine in a long time and that's not good.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good. So, okay, I think I will eat better after today. I think people, we have a lot of, we've talked about a lot of things that would make people like eat better and would make them excited about the future of food. And I hope there are still enough resources for us to eat better. That you know, like we. So, but it was so nice to chat with you. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you. And to our listeners, thank you for sticking by. Let's see you soon.